You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan, your boy tech on Twitter. Here to talk about the latest in Auburn athletics news. As we're going to get right into it, because this is going to be a quick episode because I'm recording this a lot later than I'm wanting to. So, last night, Auburn basketball took on the Ole Miss Rebels, Black Bears or Land Sharks, whatever you're wanting to call them, and absolutely dismantled Ole Miss by a score of 106-76. And of course, at one point in this game, Auburn had a 22-point lead and blew it. It got within, I want to say, about 4. And all of a sudden, Auburn turned it back on and absolutely just went on a tear. It's not a lot to talk about. I mean, outside of those 2 minutes of play, I mean, Auburn had complete control of this game throughout the entirety of it. You had Denver Jones, 13 points, led the team in plus minus with 31. But he got 13 points off 3 of 8 shooting, 3 assists. Janai Broome, 24 points, did not get the double-double tonight. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks for Janai. Chad Baker-Mazara had himself a game, shot 4 or 5 from the three-point line, 22 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks, and a steal. Miles Kelly, 13 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 1 steal for Miles Kelly. Dylan Cardwell got 4 points, 2 great dunks. Also got himself 2 blocks as well and an assist. And then lastly, of the guys who've gotten in double figures, Chaney Johnson got 13 points with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal for Chaney. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Ja'Kai Howard got himself some threes whenever he got in for 6 points. Tahad Pettiford, another slow night for him shooting, but for what we're seeing, I mean, he's still being very efficient as a passer, as a defender. So his plus minus right now, it says, I want to say 15. And so Tahad's getting quality minutes, but he's just not scoring, which, I mean, he's in a slump, but everything else is still playing great. He's still a passer. He's still a defender. He's still a guy you can trust to go and get rebounds. He was 3rd on the team in rebounds last night. Todd's still playing great despite not putting up points. You also had 4 points out of James Hudson, 2 points out of Blake Mushalek, and you got a point out of C. Mo. So yeah. It's hard to really give analysis on a game where you won by 30. So yeah, great win. But what Auburn needs to do now is go forward to Saturday as they get ready to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. It's going to be this Saturday and I thought I had it pulled up. Guess I didn't. In Lexington, Kentucky at noon. I don't know if this game's going to be on. I don't know if it's college game day or not. I don't think I don't think it is. Auburn's currently favored to win this game. Number 17, Kentucky, who is coming off of a loss to Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Lost to Alabama. There we go. Kentucky's 8-7 in the conference. I mean, this is still a very good Kentucky team offensively. I think that if you're looking at it from what Auburn can do in this game or what Auburn needs to do in this game, you have to match Kentucky offensively at every single interval. You cannot allow them to get hot. You're looking at what you did against Alabama here. You're going to have to stop their shooters. I mean, Kentucky shoots the ball very efficiently across the board. I mean, you're looking at a team that shoots it 48% from the field. They're a team that shoots 37% from the three-point line. A lot of guys who can put up points. And defensively, I mean, I don't think they're all that great defensively. They give up a lot of points per game. Auburn has been one of the most efficient defenses in the country this year, and as this offense is put on in general. So when you have a balanced team like Auburn playing against a team who's mostly offense in Kentucky, you got to think that the edge goes to Auburn here. You saw what happened last time Auburn played a team like this. It was Alabama. Alabama isn't the best defensive team, but offensively, they're one of the best. They score more points than almost anybody. I think they were like first at some point, or when they played Auburn in points per game. They were up there at least. I can't remember if they were like in points per game or not, but Kentucky has a lot of guys who can keep them in this game. Even if Auburn shuts them down, if Auburn goes into these little slumps that they have in the middle of the game, Kentucky can easily come back and make this a tough last 10 minutes of the game, and we're all sitting there sweating bullets and like, oh my Lord, we're about to blow another lead or something along those lines. Auburn needs to get over that. It's gotten tiresome at this point. There's always a point in the game where Auburn is up by double figures, and then out of nowhere, it just turns back around. The other team gets back into it, and whether or not Auburn responds to it, it's up to them. But yeah, I think the key to this game is Auburn's defense again. Kentucky is a offensive-minded team. They offensive first, and if Auburn can shut them down, this should be an easy win in Rupp. So yeah, it's quick little analysis of that. I mean, it's all key on Auburn's defense in this game. When you're looking at guys like Janai Broom is going to be key here. I mean, you're looking at the guards. Denver Jones has been one of the best players in the country as of late. I mean, defensively, he's one of the best two-way guards in the country, if not the best. So it comes down to the defense for Auburn. I think Auburn gets the dub. I'm going to say Auburn. I'm going to say 85. Kentucky 76. Give me a 9-point win in Lexington. So that's my prediction for Auburn versus Kentucky. Of course, today starts NFL Combine. We'll go to a quick little break. Let's have this break. We're going to talk about that. And of course, talking about some Auburn baseball and who they're playing this week. Auburn softball, get ready for the last invitational of the season before SEC conference play starts very soon. I believe next week at that. And of course, Auburn gymnastics starts plays Oklahoma tomorrow. Number 1 Oklahoma at that. So stay tuned. And we'll be right back.
Are you tired of having to rummage through just clothes after clothes after clothes looking for something to wear? Are you tired of your friends making fun of you for your terrible fashion sense? Well, do we have the shirt for you? Go to thewarreport.com, get your laptop out and do it right now. Go to the shop and get your very own Feelin' Loopy t-shirt as well as your college loop hat, and you can get both of them for only $25 each. Plus shipping and handling, of course. But with that, now back to your regular scheduled program.
Of course, available on thewarreport.com. Second page, you can find the shop of the shop. You can find the college loop merch. Check out the day. Of course, it's only one way to support the channel. The best way to support the channel, of course, by liking, by commenting, and by subscribing. Leave your predictions below for Auburn at Kentucky this weekend. Now, Auburn women's basketball, they take on Georgia today at 5:00 p.m. Auburn favored to win that. I think they are. They are a better team than Georgia is this year. I really hate it for the team, man. The injuries really derailed the season. Auburn has been very competitive in so many of these games, and to watch their season kind of crumble apart because of injuries is so sad to watch. I cannot wait for next season. Hopefully, you can get healthy. This team's gonna be good. Once everybody's healthy, this team is gonna be ridiculous. Believe it. And I think Deanna Gaston, I don't know if she has any eligibility. I hope she did or does. Really does suck. But I think they're going to beat Georgia tonight at 5:00 p.m. They are, of course, favored to win that game. So, yeah, quick little preview of that as the NFL Combine starts tonight. And you got defense first, linebackers and D linemen. Auburn doesn't have any D linemen. I don't think Philip Bleedy did not get an invite to the Combine, but 2 Auburn linebackers did, and Eugene Asante and Jalen McLeod. Get to see those 2 showcase their talents tonight, or really today. It's throughout the entirety of it's like it starts at I think 9, and then it goes all the way to 8. So it's a crazy. I love watching the Combine. I love watching the guys who I watch college football kind of showcase who they are as players. Of course, I'm sitting there waiting to see who the Panthers draft at 8. I think Asante has the best chances at shooting up in the draft boards, and I think he can do that today. Of course, he's like one of the first guys to go for the linebackers. And McLeod, I think McLeod's going to get drafted regardless. I'm just kind of waiting around to see what position they're really going to try to put him at in the combine. If they're going to have him play more at the defensive lines with edge rushers, because I don't think they have an edge rusher category. Kind of see where he kind of plays at that. I think he's a little undersized to be a D lineman. I think he fits more at the edge rusher, so I get to see him at that as well. So yeah, and of course, Jarquez Hunter. And who else? There was one more that I'm forgetting now. Keandre Leonard-Smith. They'll be on Saturday, not mistaken. So tomorrow would be like O lineman and something else, and then Saturday is quarterback, running backs, and wide receivers. So you can see those three, or you can see those two on Saturday. No Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne not getting an invite to the NFL Combine. So yeah. Big ups to the future of the league in Jarquez Hunter, KLS, Eugene Asante, and Jalen McLeod. I think the best player for Auburn is Kendall Leonard-Smith, but I also think Jarquez Hunter should be getting a lot more respect. I saw so many lists of running backs, and Jarquez Hunter is just nowhere on those lists. I think it's laughable. I think people haven't been watching film, because I truly believe that Jarquez Hunter is a top 5 back in this draft class, if not higher. The film is there, the talent level is there, the work ethic is there. He's everything you want in an NFL running back. All he needs is a chance and probably a pair of gloves. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Jarquez disrespect by NFL analysts. Definitely, I don't know what they watch. I'm not too sure what their like film review is. I don't know what you saw of Jarquez Hunter that made you think that he is not a quality back. What do I know? All right, so rounding out the show, going to go over what we're going to be seeing this weekend. So starting off with gymnastics, Auburn takes on Oklahoma in Neville Arena, number 1 Oklahoma at that. Auburn has faced Oklahoma earlier this year, and it was in the Gold Collegiate Championship where Oklahoma kind of just took over the entire meet, beat Auburn 197.5 to 195.9. Of course, Oklahoma, a very good squad, which, I mean, that's why they're ranked number 1 to begin with. Auburn number 11 in the country. I would love to see Auburn get the win here. I mean, it'd be a great upset to get, especially you got a little bit of an edge with it being in Neville Arena. So I look forward to seeing Auburn win. I don't know if it'll happen. Oklahoma, again, they're so good. They're so good. But Auburn, I mean, if you catch Auburn on a good night, really hard to beat. When Auburn is able to get 49s across the board, they're very hard to beat. Now, if you get the jitters again, like you did versus Florida, then we got some problems. But I think with this being in Neville Arena, I think you got a good chance for Auburn to get a major upset there. That would be great for the season. But yeah, Oklahoma, tough team to beat. And that leaves two more meets going on before the end of the season, or end of the regular season at that. So Auburn Gymnastics currently 10-3 on the season. So rounding out the show with Diamond Sports, Auburn softball is taking on the, what is it called? The Rocket City Showcase. That was last week. The J.B. Moore Memorial. Of course, they got teams like Rutgers, McNeese State, Louisiana, all on deck for this weekend's matchups. Of course, all these games will be SEC or going to be at the SEC Network Plus. Of course, also you can catch them on Week on 101.1 FM as well. So yeah, should be another good weekend for Auburn. Hopefully, you got to get the bats hot. That's the big key here. That's what happened last week. Is you had some games where you just couldn't. When I say some, you had a lot of them. You just couldn't get hits. I mean, you had. That's all it is. And of course, a lot of people were like bashing the team saying, "Oh, well, the offense is bad again." I don't know what you're expecting. This team is completely rebuilt from last year. This is a completely new team. This is a new coaching staff. This is a new everything, and they're 14-1. I don't know why people would just find anything and everything to complain about. This is a great start to the year. I think they continue to improve throughout the year. Cannot wait for next weekend where you get to take on Mississippi State in the first SEC. Oh, it's going to be a fun one, especially because you're going to see, you're going to pay attention to that while Auburn's playing Alabama for a chance to either win the SEC regular season title or just celebrate it in the morning, or celebrate it that after the game, regardless of what happens. Hopefully, you get a chance to win it beforehand. But yeah, I think Auburn's going to walk out of the JB Memorial undefeated. I mean, it's hard for me not to think that Auburn is the best team in this. Of course, the rankings show that Auburn's number 19 in the country. If you just get consistent at the plate, that's all we're waiting for is the consistency to step in. And of course, you started off strong into the year. You got to keep it going. I think this team is doing that. The Malveaux are building something great at Auburn, and I can always see how this team continues to build on their 14-1 start to the year, which shocking that people still complain about a 14-1 start to the year. It's absolutely insane. And now, lastly on the show, of course, I told you we're racing through a lot of things here. The baseball team, of course, coming off of a midweek win over Samford, 15-8. Of course, Samford is a team that will give a lot of teams fits. Now this week they have the Meiji Bank College Baseball Series. I think I said that right. You're going to really see what Auburn's made of this week on the baseball diamond. Got Ohio State, you got number 8 Oregon State, and of course you got Baylor. This is going to be in Arlington, Texas. These games are going to be on Flow College, so I don't even know where to go for that. And of course, you can get live stats or listen live to it as well. Just check the Auburn Athletics app, or Auburn Athletic app, or the website, and you'll be able to catch up on it. Be a great week to check out what Auburn is. You know, a lot of people are talking about how inconsistent they've looked on the plate, on the mound, whichever one. Of course, I'm not the best analyst of baseball, but a 8-1 start, not going to get any complaints from me. And again, if Auburn walks out of this 3-0 or 2-1, it's something to put your hat on. Yeah, so super stoked for Auburn Athletics this weekend. Of course, it's going to do it for this of the College Podcast. I told you, short and sweet episode today. We're going to get out of here in 20 minutes. So I'm not late this morning. So yeah, thanks for watching some of the College Loop Podcast. Of course, I'm Dylan Able on Twitter. Of course, you find me on Instagram as well at Dylan DYLNLRCK. You can find me right here on the College Loop Podcast on YouTube, where you should like and comment what your prediction is for Auburn and Kentucky. And of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. A shout out all 940 of you who have been subscribed to the channel. Of course, check us out on social media platforms, all of them, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the works. All is at The College Loop, and audio versions of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, of course, Amazon Music. Now, that being said, thanks for watching of the College Loop Podcast. And as always, War Eagle.